Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, we'll start off from where we left, not where we left off yesterday really, but some part of it yesterday, the developments within the House of Representatives, where we do know that the loyalist group, as they refer to themselves as, replied the letter previously written by the Speaker to the chairman of the party, saying that they had, of course, disagreeing with the positions that the Speaker takes or took in that letter to the chairman of the party. And so it looks as though still stuck. Where do we go from there? So that's where we start off today with Mr. Adegboruwa joins us now. He's a legal practitioner to shed some legal perspectives on this matter. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, that letter that was written by the other group, they did enumerate the issues that they had with some of the points that the speakers group did make. They talked about those positions that ought to be occupied, as it has to do with the House rules, the federal character principle. You've gone through that letter. What's your interpretation of those sections that they highlighted there?
Well, I think that with all due respect to the loyalist group, there is a misconception and misinterpretation of the Constitution. First of all, the concept of party supremacy under a democratic government is a misnomer. Section 1 of the Constitution is clear as to where supremacy lies. Section 1 of the Constitution says that this Constitution, the provisions of it, are supreme. And that the part of this nation, and no part of this nation should be governed in any manner that is contrary to that Constitution. So supremacy belongs to the Constitution. That Constitution creates political parties. That Constitution creates offices. That Constitution creates the presidency, creates every other thing. So when you want to talk about the concept of supremacy, it belongs to the Constitution. Number two, we are having a problem with this issue of party supremacy. Because you must understand, if you want to say party supremacy, then you go holistically. You don't apply to the legislature, if at all such a thing exists. Because the president is a member of the party. Party supremacy means that to constitute his cabinet, appoint his ministers, appoint all these people that the president has named so far, they must come from Oyegun. It should be, Mr. John Oyegun should send a list to the president, say, party supremacy. These are the list, this is your attorney general, so take him.
But those ones are not political appointments.
Yes, the party supremacy, the president is a member of the party. If it's party supremacy, then you go to the states and meet the governors and ensure that all their commissioners come from a list that's already been determined by APC. Party supremacy. But my concept of party supremacy is that being a member of our party, we have a program, we have promises we have made to our people in our manifesto. Party supremacy means that in trying to project the image of APC, take those constitutional, our objectives, our promises, implement them in your daily policies. We say that we're going to give electricity to people, 20,000 megawatts, everywhere. Make sure that works.
Oh, sorry, just to clarify, you're a member of the APC?
No, I'm not a member of APC, I'm not a member of PDP. I don't do politics. Okay. I'm not a registered member of any political party.
You're making it personal, so I don't
know. No, okay, so, and party supremacy was what Awolowo was doing in UPN. If you recall, when we were growing up, he promised free education. So what he will do is this. When Jakande was presenting the budget of UPN in Lagos State, Awolowo sat down there to ensure that party supremacy, what I promised the people when we were campaigning, you must deliver it. So he ensured that free education was included in the budget. He will go to Ondo State and sit with Ajasin. That's party supremacy. Implement our policies. It's not to struggle for positions. That's not party supremacy.
Okay, well, what they said here in that letter that they wrote to the chairman, and where they talked about party and its supremacy, that's the 13th point. They did talk about, let me see, Article 9(2) of the APC Constitution. I'm reading from what they said, which we all subscribe to the states, quote, members of the party shall be obligated to affirm the party's aims and objectives. The party's letter to the speaker on party positions forms part of the aims and objectives of the party. And he says here that the party is supreme and the party must assert their position.
That's the point I'm making, Chamberlain. The aims and objectives of a political party derives from the Constitution. If you check your Constitution, Section 223 and 224 states clearly where a political party derives its aims and objectives. You don't go to the air and bring aims.
So let me add this part before you go on, pardon me. About that part where you were talking about him going to every other section of the society, I think they also saw that and said, while they say the party must assert its authority over all its members, the speaker inclusive, as none of us came to the House as independent candidates, and we subscribed expressly and impliedly to the party's supremacy in political activities.
Yeah, this is where I say there is a misconception. Now, the aims of a political party should be drawn and implemented in line with Chapter 2 of the 1999 Constitution. Because the party is created under Section 40 to be registered by INEC. And then Section 220 to 234 states and outlines the objectives and how the party will be run. And in particular, Section 223 and 224 gives a clear mandatory provision to every political party to ensure that your aims and objectives go in line with the directive principles of state policy outlined in Chapter 2 of the Constitution. So by party supremacy, when we understand it legally, is to say that those objectives that are contained in Chapter 2, and the reason for putting those objectives there is that the framers of the Constitution wants you, once you are in government, to run your government in a way that it will uplift the welfare of the people. It will benefit the entire populace that you are ruling. So it's not just in struggling for power or positions. The supremacy of the party is in ensuring that you use your position to implement programs in accordance with Chapter 2. So supremacy in Nigeria derives from Section 1 and derives from Section 14. Section 14 says clearly that authority belongs to the people, not the political party.
Most of the arguments for the party supremacy are drawn from that Supreme Court ruling. That when you came, the person who's standing for election is not the individual that stands for the election, is the party that stands for the election. So how does that tie into this?
No, what the Supreme Court said is this. Section 69, talking about defection, says you came on the platform of a political party to the National Assembly. If you defect from that platform when there is no faction, when there is no reason whatsoever other than just gambling for power, then you quit that office that you occupy and allow the party to fill that position. It's not about supremacy. It's the loyalty to the party in respect of carry the banner